Hey there, West Michigan. Thanks for watching 13 Weather Plus. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. It's been an active 24 hours across West Michigan, from high levels of heat and humidity to a round of severe storms that pushed through yesterday evening, leaving behind a lot of damage across the region. And you guys have been sending in your pictures. This picture from Kaylee showing trees down on a car and across the sidewalk yesterday evening. Another picture from Eric, trees across the road. One looks to have fallen either between or possibly on a house on College Avenue, and the power lines there you can see suffering some damage as well. Tina at Willow Drive Northeast, trees blocking the road there yesterday evening, with more trees uprooted at Bluff Drive Northeast. Thanks to Terry for sending in that photo. The view across the region from our Walker Tower camera Thursday evening showing those power flashes as that tornadic storm moved just toward our east yesterday evening. Of course, as the sun comes up today and the damage is revealed, if you take any weather photos, you want to send them to us here at 13 on your side, you can find me on social media, meteorologist Michael Behrens on Facebook, and at Mike Behrens WX on the X, Twitter, Instagram, and on Threads. When it came to today, well, we're going to be drying things out once we get to the afternoon at least. This morning, we've seen a little bit of misty drizzle across the region. Still seeing it here to some degree as we head toward 9 o'clock, but we're not going to see that as much as we work our way into the afternoon. Things will start to dry up. The temperatures, though, going to be much better compared to where we were yesterday. Hit a high of 91 yesterday in Grand Rapids, 93 in Holland and Kalamazoo, even a 96 in South Haven. Chicago hitting the triple-digit mark yesterday. Today going to be cooler. That's why 13 Weather Ball is lit up in blue with cooler temperatures in view. Weather Ball blinking bright for the first part of the day, but should be solid by the afternoon as we get rid of the rain that's in sight early this day.
The 13 Weather Ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
And when it comes to those temperatures, already cooler this morning than we were yesterday. We've fallen down to 69 in Grand Rapids as of 8:42, 73 Kalamazoo, 72 Muskegon. Those temperatures will build this afternoon once we get rid of the drizzle and cloudiness of this morning. You can see low visibility down towards South Haven and Kalamazoo of some of that drizzle pushing through. The dew points, they are also on the way down. Not that it's not going to be humid today, just less humid than yesterday. Dew points in the 60s and 70s across the region versus the mid to upper 70s that we saw for your Thursday. Forecast this afternoon does keep dew points in the 60s, close to 70, so it's still humid. It's still uncomfortable, just not as bad as it was yesterday. If you're heading out to a football game this evening, mostly cloudy skies to be expected. Temperatures in the 70s, but it'll feel like the 80s. Can't rule out a stray shower, but most of us should stay dry this evening. Looking pretty good for the sidelines forecast today. Outside of the football games, well, 82 going to be your high this afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy after we get past the morning drizzle. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy as well, 65. Tomorrow, humid still, but cooler, 75. Humidity drops by tomorrow evening, and more comfortable weather continues as we head into Sunday. Radar Friday morning showing a little bit of that drizzle out there. It's hard to pick up, but from time to time you do get to see a little bit of it on the radar. Overall, though, the heavy rain and storms as well off toward the east. More rain back to the west. Not particularly going to impact us here in West Michigan, but can't totally rule it out either. So let's go and track things hour by hour. We're looking partly cloudy again as we head into the afternoon. Mostly cloudy for the first part of the day. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight. Rain chances off toward the west start to slide by as we head toward early Saturday morning. Maybe a stray shower comes into West Michigan. Overall, though, I'm not expecting it. I think we're seeing a little bit too much of the green stuff here on the map heading through Saturday. Mostly just going to be a partly to mostly cloudy day versus a day with a lot of scattered showers. We push all of those chances out, though, as we head towards Sunday with quiet weather for the second half of the weekend. Some pretty nice weather, in fact, by the time we get towards Sunday. We're looking at temperatures Friday afternoon, 70s to around the low 80s on the lakeshore. If that early day drizzle will be in the 80s for our northern zones, of temperatures that will hang around in the low to mid 80s for Grand Rapids down to Kalamazoo. 13 on your side, 10-day outlook. 82 this afternoon, 75 for both weekend days. We'll see more storm chances come in Monday night and into the day on Tuesday, followed by temperatures that hit the low 70s by next Wednesday. That'll be a start of a nice dry pattern, too, that heads through the end of the forecast. But the summer-like temperatures aren't done. We still have upper 70s and temperatures close to 80 by the end of the 10-day.
The 13 on your side beach and boating forecast. Sponsored by AAC Credit Union.
And now it's time for your beach and boating forecast. We will see waves that will build to about 2 to 3 feet by this afternoon. Again, sunshine increasing throughout the day. Winds will be coming from the north across the lake, so watch for some waves and currents on the north end of the piers, especially by later this afternoon. These waves will get larger, though, as we head towards Saturday. So today going to be the better beach day of the two. Water temperatures have been recovering after an active week last week. We're seeing more of those 70s, especially on the southern end of the lake, with areas north of South Haven mostly hanging around in the upper 60s. And all across Kent County this morning, we're seeing more of the aftermath caused by those severe thunderstorms that rolled through yesterday evening, with reports of extensive damage in several West Michigan neighborhoods. A lot of things you would associate with strong thunderstorms, like downed trees and power lines. But even more startling, of course, is the damage to the homes in the area. Roofs ripped off, homes and garages destroyed, and debris thrown around everywhere.
I wasn't expecting this and the thunder was very loud, so I felt like that was off. And then my dad called me down or whatever, and he's like, look at the weather app. He didn't know my phone was upstairs, so I grabbed my phone, and then my window blew out while I was in there, so I started ducking and then ran down the stairs and went in the basement.
And while those girls were scared, they did make it to their safe place just in time and were not hurt. The National Weather Service will be out there later today to survey the damage. Another area that saw the brutal effects of last night's storms was Alpine Township. Residents from the area seeing incredible damage like what you see here, with trees uprooted. Even a roof was torn off the home, and of course those trees tossed to power lines as well.
We look over, and our oak tree that's 100 years old and huge just gets lifted up. We just watch everything in the backyard get lifted up and just slam down, and it cracked. And then we looked out and saw that our neighbors' houses had been flattened and roofs have been torn off.
Yeah, really some impressive damage out there last night. Of course, cleaning it all up in the dark, that much more tricky. Power lines likely still down across the region this morning. And speaking of the cleanup, the city of Grand Rapids is also coordinating a storm response this morning. Emergency workers, public workers, and forestry crews are out working together to assess the damage. In a post on social media, they urged residents to stay inside if possible. They're also reminding people to stay away from those downed power lines, areas that may be flooded, and to pay attention for any additional safety alerts. And with power lines down across Kent County, Consumers Energy is also urging people to be safe. They say a reminder is to stay 25 feet away from downed power lines, and if you see one, report it to 911 and Consumers Energy. This is a live look at the Consumers outage map. Numerous areas still without power across the state this morning, including homes and businesses, stores and schools, all without power this morning as well. Consumers Energy says they were prepared for the storm, but of course the cleanup will take some time.
We spend a lot of time when the weather is good to keep trees away from power lines, but of course you've got entire trees that are falling down across roads into yards, and that's going to cause some challenges to clean up as well as restore the power. So not an easy process.
We'll be expecting to get more updates from Consumers Energy throughout the day, so make sure you stick with us on air and online, as well as on that 13 on your side mobile app for the latest updates. Those severe storms also unfortunately causing a deadly crash overnight. The Kent County Sheriff's Office says a mother and her 2 children were killed. The crash happened near 18 Mile Road and Harvard Avenue, but it's unclear as of this time as to what exactly caused that crash.
During the rain portion, there was 2 vehicles traveling opposite towards each other. One hydroplaned on water, and it was occupied by 4 people. Unfortunately, there was an adult female and 2 young children that were killed in that crash.
The driver of that car sustained a head injury. The other driver was also hurt. We're expecting to learn more from the Kent County Sheriff's Office later today. Now, the storm also caused several fires around West Michigan, including a church on the southeast side of Grand Rapids, a lightning strike causing the Third Reformed Church's 150-year-old bell tower to catch fire. This video from shortly after that lightning strike shows the scene. The church, currently under renovations, is being transformed into an arts and entertainment community center. The project manager there says luckily the fire was mostly contained at the top of the building.
The fire department, I think, did a splendid job. I've just recently walked through the building, and I think the damage is confined to the exterior on the north and the west sides of the steeple. So it could be a lot worse, and apparently there are lots of houses that are totally in flames tonight. So I'm grateful that this one was not as bad as it could have been.
And that was just one of at least 3 fires crews were called to overnight. There were also crews at Lafayette and Spencer and the 1600 block of Francis. Now, from the storms, we received more than 100 viewer photos and videos since they rolled through around West Michigan, and we want to share your videos here as well. We've seen everything from clouds to storm damage. Thousands of people have been impacted. If you do have a photo or video you want to send our way, you can text them to us at 616-559-1310. You can also message them to us on Facebook and X. We may feature them here on our website, on our streaming platforms, social media, or on TV. And of course, we want you to stay with 13 on your side as we continue to cover the aftermath of the severe weather in West Michigan. You'll find the latest forecast by downloading the 13 on your side app. Has live radar in there as well. It'll also let you know when watches or warnings have been issued for your area. It's free and in the App Store or Google Play. Of course, now you're up to date with the latest on the storms here in West Michigan from last night and the forecast heading toward the weekend. We'll have continuing coverage all day long on 13onyourside.com and, of course, on that app. For now, though, thanks for watching 13 Plus. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens.